This is a Danish English special report with the latest on Denmark's crime crackdown, February 2026. Welcome to Danish-InfoNews TV with the latest headlines in crime and justice. Tonight, we bring you a series of major developments shaping Denmark's approach to crime, public safety, and social responsibility. Danish police and government introduce tougher measures against crime, gangs, and enablers. Police in Mid and West Zealand have introduced a controversial new method aimed at helping suicidal citizens by charging them in certain cases to ensure access to treatment. At the same time, the government is preparing tougher penalties for so-called crime as a service, where young people are hired to carry out serious crimes, including attempted murder and terrorism. We also look at a new political initiative targeting criminal families and so-called enablers, individuals who may be assisting gangs from inside key institutions. And finally, Danish police say they have struggled to shut down a Facebook group where drugs and prescription medicine are allegedly being traded, raising questions about tech platforms and accountability. Let's begin with tonight's first main story. Police charging suicidal individuals to get them help. At the Mid or Vestjyllands police have begun using a new and controversial method to help suicidal individuals. The district is charging people who are suicidal when they repeatedly obstruct traffic or violate crime law, with the aim of ensuring they enter psychiatric treatment. The initiative is carried out in cooperation with psychiatric services. As grotesque as it may sound, it is actually an attempt to help them, said Police Inspector Thomas Tapgaard in an interview with Politiken. According to police, those involved are often young women whom police officers have encountered repeatedly before. Charging a suicidal person is not the first step taken, police stress, but part of a broader effort to manage an increasing number of severely mentally ill individuals requiring police resources. In a random 14-day period in November, the district recorded 25 incidents related to suicide attempts, threats, or suspected plans. In 2015, the United Nations adopted a goal of reducing global suicide rates by 33% by 2030. Since then, Denmark's suicide rate has fallen by 4%. In 2024, 580 people died by suicide. Harsher penalties for contract crime. At the same time, the Danish government is proposing tougher penalties for so-called crime as a service, where individuals, often young men, are hired to carry out serious crimes. Minister of Justice Peter Hummelgaard, Social Democrats, has presented a proposal that would increase sentences by 1/3 for particularly serious crimes, such as murder, if a person either orders the crime or allows themselves to be hired to commit it. According to the Politiets National Enhed for Særlig Kriminalitet (NSK), there have been at least 59 cases between April of 2024 and January 13 of 2026 involving charges related to contract crime. Several cases involve young Swedish nationals paid to travel to Denmark to commit violent crimes. Earlier this month, 2 Swedes, aged 16 and 19 at the time, were convicted of terrorism after throwing grenades at the Israeli embassy in Copenhagen in October of 2024. Both had been hired to carry out the attack. However, critics question whether harsher penalties will have the intended effect. Adam Didriksen, a police researcher at the Forsvarsakademiet, argues that young offenders are unlikely to follow Danish criminal policy closely enough to be deterred by stricter sentences. Instead, he suggests increased intelligence work and monitoring of gang environments online and on social media. Focus on enablers and criminal families. The government's broader anti-gang initiative also targets a so-called enablers, individuals who provide information, access, or insight that helps criminal networks operate. Peter Homolgo will ask the Kriminalpräventivråd to prepare a report in 2026 or 2027 examining criminal networks and the individuals who assist them. The report is expected to resemble a 2023 study by Sweden's Brottsförebyggningsråd, which found examples of criminal network infiltration in sectors such as banking and the justice system. The government's initiatives including criminal families under Denmark's gang prevention, systematic monitoring of criminal families, increased support for children in criminal families, harsher penalties for gangs and contract crime, improved ability to prosecute those who enable serious crimes, extended geographical residency bans, notification of public housing organizations about criminal residents. The issue gained political attention after Social Democrats' immigration spokesperson Frederik Vad delivered a widely debated speech in 2024 at the Folketinget, arguing that employment and education are not sufficient if individuals use their positions to undermine society from within. A subsequent preliminary investigation launched by former Immigration and Integration Minister Kåre Dybvad Bek identified 25 cases in which public employees were suspected of misusing their positions in honor-related conflicts. A broader external analysis has been initiated but not yet completed. Police struggle to close Facebook drug group. Meanwhile, Danish police report that they have unsuccessfully attempted to shut down a Facebook group where Danes allegedly trade drugs and prescription medicine. According to police, Meta platforms generally does not comply with requests to remove potentially illegal content. The difficulty of removing such online platforms highlights the broader challenge authorities face in addressing the digital infrastructure that supports criminal activity. Together, the initiatives signal a comprehensive strategy: tougher penalties for violent and organized crime, expanded tools against gangs and criminal families, investigations into institutional infiltration, increased intelligence efforts, and new, sometimes controversial, policing methods aimed at both preventing crime and managing its social consequences. Those were tonight's key developments from across Denmark. From controversial new policing tools and proposed tougher sentencing laws to investigations into criminal networks and the challenges of online enforcement, the debate over how best to protect Danish society continues. We will follow these stories closely as new details emerge, including the government's upcoming legislative proposals and further analysis of the impact these measures may have. Thank you for watching Danish-InfoNews TV. Stay informed and have a good evening.